Good evening and welcome to the Town of Rockland's Board of Selectmen meeting for Tuesday, November 7th, 2023. Please be advised that this open meeting is being broadcast live and recorded for playback by WRPS at youtube.com/WRPS Rockland. Please go to WRPSRockland.com for further information. First on the agenda, Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand and join us. Chief Duffy, can you start us off?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next on the agenda, community announcements. Doug?
Thank you, Mike. So right now it's Tuesday night, November 7th, and in 1 hour and 15 minutes we'll have our special town meeting, which starts at 7 o'clock at the high school auditorium. We encourage all Rockland voters to attend. And then secondly, we have our Tri-Town Veterans Day Parade on Saturday, the 11th of November. It will be in Rockland this year, and that starts at 10 a.m. up on North Union Street by Larry's Auto. We'll go all the way down Union Street and end at the plaza. And there'll be viewing all along the sidewalks, especially in front of Town Hall. That's all I have for announcements.
Okay, anybody questions or comments regarding those two announcements? Okay, thank you much. Next on the agenda, minutes from our meeting of 10/17/23. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion in 2 seconds. All those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you. Next on the agenda, new business. Requested approval for 9 a.m. opening on Sunday, 11/12/23, Players Sports Bar and Grill, 86 VFW Drive. Doug?
Sure. So we told Jackie she didn't need to come in tonight. We do this occasionally. There's a Patriots game that day, so they're looking to open up a little bit earlier. So we thought that would be a good thing for players to be able to do. And again, we've done this type of thing before. I see no issues.
Any questions, concerns, or comments?
No.
I entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Next on the agenda, one-day liquor license, 4th Floor Artist Open Studios. Mr. Rosa.
Thank you, Select Board. Once again, I'm in front of you looking for temporary liquor license for our open studios, 18th and 19th of this month. We're having a beer vendor from, I think it's Situate. Somebody new that we've never dealt with, but they come highly recommended. So we're giving them a shot. If you've been to our open studios before, it's fun. It's 3 floors of just absolute creativity, art all over the place, music, written word, paintings, every single medium you can possibly think of. So that's why I'm here.
Any questions, comments, and concerns for Rob?
No.
Rob, just the one vendor? Just the wagon?
Just the one vendor at this point. Yep.
Okay.
We're not gonna go. We try to keep it low. We're not trying to get everybody rocked.
Okay.
All right. We want to just publicize some new, different things, and this just kind of came out of the woodwork this year. So we're starting small and just making it happen.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Select Board. The one last thing before I go, I just wanted to pass this out.
Thanks.
Don't get mad. Look at it.
Why? Why am I gonna get mad?
This is something that kind of came out of the woodwork.
Oh, I get it.
Green Rock is over on, it's 1015 Hingham Street. There you go.
Yeah, I guess you know.
It's 1015 Hingham Street, and
Thanks.
again, it came out of nowhere. We're not looking for anything. This is just advertisement, and just to show you that things are happening in this town. Again, they contacted me a couple weeks after they got the permit. We had some conversation after a meeting. They were talking. They asked me how I got involved in the town. I talked to them about it. Told them about the 4th Floor Artist. It was just conversation, and then they were like, "Well, look, we're looking to have some local artist stuff." it just organically happened. It was nice. My stuff isn't in there. You know, it's my artisan stuff doesn't belong in there. This is everybody else from the 4-4 artists. So they're having an artist night tomorrow night, and I just wanted to let you guys know.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, annual license renewals. I have a volunteer to read it.
I will.
Thank you, Tiffany, I appreciate it. That was a long pause, guys. I know you
I
did
was just
last
trying to
time.
find it. Yeah, there it is.
Pending all obligations have been met, all alcohol club, 1 Fraternal Order of Eagles Erie, number 841, 29 Park Street. 2 Harmon Golf and Fitness Club, 168 Concord Street. 3 Old Colony BFW Post 1788 Inc., 22 Church Street. All alcohol common victualler. 1 China Plaza, 35 Market Street. 2 Luca South, 933 Hingham Street. 3 Minero's The Steakhouse, 371 Union Street. 4 99 Restaurant, 29 Acord Park Drive. 5 Players Sports Bar and Grill, 86 VFW Drive. 6 Porter's Pub, 363 Union Street. 7 Rockland Golf Course, 276 Plain Street. 8 Top Shelf Bistro, 120 Bill Delahunt Parkway. 9 TK O'Shea's, 934 Hingham Street. 10 Stevie G's Restaurant, 372 Market Street. All alcohol in holder. 1 Doubletree Hilton, Rockland, 929 Hingham Street. Wine and malt common victualler. 1 Mike's Pizza, 315 Union Street. All alcohol package, Fast Lane Liquors and Grocery, 924 to 26, 926 Hingham Street. 2 Luke's Liquors, 167 Market Street. 3 Rockland Liquors, 347 Market Street. 4 Station Liquors, 21 East Water Street. 5 Union Street Package, 328 Union Street. Wine and malt package, 1 7-Eleven, 92 Market Street. 2 Easy Mart, 339 Center Ave. 3 Richdale Food Shop, 474 Market Street. 4 Sam's Food and Smoke Shop, 200 BFW Drive. 5 Tonia's Deli and Quick Mart, 246 East Water Street. Farmers Market, Farmers Brewing Permit, 1 Article 15, 406 BFW Drive.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve pending all obligations have been met.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor? It's unanimous, thank you much. Next on the agenda, billboard update and HCA extension, W1 Realty LLC, 61 Airport Park Drive. Doug?
Thanks, Mike. So this is sort of interesting. It's been a long saga, as the board knows. For the public's benefit, again, there were 2 applicants for the single billboard permit that the town could issue in its billboard zoning overlay district. The town chose the one by this particular applicant, and they were denied a permit by the Mass Department of Transportation Office of Outdoor Advertising for a couple of reasons, but I think the main reason was the location. They said it was too close to the interchange and that it's not allowable under the federal rules and regulations that they're subject to. So there was an appeal filed by the applicant. They hired an expert legal firm that specializes in this type of work, and they presented a binder, probably even thicker than that, that was sent to the State Division of Administrative Law Appeals, referred to as DALA, which is sort of an internal judicial proceeding. And to my very pleasant shock and surprise, they and we won. And it was a pretty interesting decision. I included it in your packet. It was only about 12 pages long. And I really find this fascinating because at the very end of it, I'll just read the last sentence under the final agency decision. It says, "The federal state agencies' agreements prohibition on locating signs adjacent to or within 500 feet of an interchange does not apply to Route 3, a non-interstate highway. Therefore, the Office of Outdoor Advertising's denial of the applications based on that prohibition were improper, and there was no other reason for their denial of the permits. Office of Outdoor Advertising is directed, therefore, to approve the applications and grant the electronic sign permit to locate it, at that location facing Route 3 at 61 Acord Eckerd Park Drive. So not only is it interesting for us, but I'm curious, this could very well set a precedent for other applications and billboards all up and down Route 3. So I don't know if the state will appeal or not. That gets into really the main part of this agenda item, which was to update you on the win on the appeal. But also we do need to grant another extension in our host community agreement. I included the letter from their attorney. They indicated that it is possible that the state could appeal, but they don't think it's likely. But they do need to wait for that appeal period to go through, and then there's some other procedural things that need to happen, so they're requesting to extend their host community agreement through February 15th of 2024, which I recommend, and then we'll be good to go, assuming there is no successful appeal by the state. So I think you should take a vote to extend their HCA to February 15, 2024.
Okay, any questions, comments beforehand?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment, so the public, just to remind them, with this win, Rockland will get $60,000 a year, $60,000 a year for a 30-year period, and it's renewable. So this is a major win for us. So, and thanks for being so persistent, Mike and Doug. You guys were, kept on and pretty good. So.
Okay, thank you, Lori. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the extension of the host community agreement.
Motion to approve.
I got a motion, do we have a second?
Second?
Motion and a second, all those in favor? It's unanimous, thank you very much. Next on the agenda, other new business not reasonably anticipated. Doug?
I have none.
Okay, next, old business, 11/7/2023, special town meeting. Doug?
Yep, thanks, Mike. So it is almost 6 o'clock, so town meeting's in an hour. I'll only take like 1 minute for the real hardcore Rockland government junkies that are watching on TV. I'll just quickly run through the list of warrant items so they know what to expect. There's 11 articles. Article 1, spending $300,000 from free cash for unanticipated special ed costs at the school. Article 2, spending $150,000 from free cash for 2 new fire station feasibility studies to see where we go forward given the failure of the proposed debt exclusion. Number 3, funding a little over $4,000 from free cash for a training grant for the fire department. Article 4 is spending $100,000 from free cash to supplement last year's annual town meeting appropriation to replace the flat rubber membrane roof and the HVAC unit and controls at the police department. Article 5 is $100,000 funded from the Community Preservation Act to supplement private funding to renovate the Holy Family School into a new senior affordable housing project. Article 6 is just a correction to the library director's salary in the FY24 budget. That'll end up being a transfer from within our budgets. Article 7 is adopting a Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 110A, that governs the ability to stay closed on Saturdays and pushing due dates to the following Monday so we can avoid overtime. Article 8 is paying unpaid bills from a prior year. They were generally just a bunch of small WB Mason bills for the zoning board. And then Articles 9, 10, and 11 will most likely all be discussed together as one kind of cohesive article. That is the Union Point zoning. So that is at 7 o'clock tonight, which is November 7th at the high school auditorium.
Thank you, Doug. And next on the agenda, emergency shelter update. Doug?
Yep. So I have a brief update tonight on the shelter. The first thing is through Kathy Ryan, the town's public health nurse. She has arranged for a flu and COVID-19 vaccine clinic that will be held at the Comfort Inn on Hingham Street on Wednesday, November 15th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And that's open to all residents in town, everybody in town, employees in the town of Rockland, anybody. And again, it's for flu and COVID-19 vaccine. The details of how to register, it's on the town. We put it out on our Facebook page, and there's our most recent Facebook post is embedded on the homepage of the town website. So we encourage people to pre-register for that. As far as the numbers go at the shelter, this is what I plan on doing at each meeting, just kind of updating you on the numbers. The good news is there have been no new arrivals since Halloween, since October 31st. Courtney and I were talking before this meeting. We're not sure if that's just a temporary pause or if they've started to hear some of the clamoring that we've been discussing with them multiple times per week. But our current numbers through the emergency shelter system are a total of 88 people, which is comprised of 41 adults and 47 children. In addition to those 88 people, there's an additional 13 that are long-term stay guests. So those are people that were there before. That's the kind of thing that happens all the time, and we've talked about that before. Out of the 88 people that are in the emergency shelter system now, that includes within that a total of 14 students that are enrolled in the Rockland school system. It also includes, out of that 88 total people, 11 children that are living there but are bused out of district. So those are most likely, I'm going to use my own understanding of it, I'm not speaking for the school department, but I believe those are most likely or generally American citizens, people from other communities that for whatever reason need the emergency shelter. They get placed in Rockland, but if they're coming from another town, their kids want to keep going to school in that town, so we're responsible for their transportation. And then the last update I thought I'd give is just a kind of quick update on some of Courtney's efforts coordinating all the various nonprofits and other groups that are going to be donating all the various clothes and personal care items. So currently, there's 8 different groups that she has connected directly to the National Guard on site. They include the South Shore Food Bank, Weymouth Food Pantry, Self-Help, St. Vincent de Paul, which is Holy Family Church, the Channing Unitarian Church, Savers, United Way from Greater Brockton, Bethesda House Boutique, and the Mary Bilecki Foundation. So we have all those groups directly connected to the Guard, so we should be in good shape moving forward with donations. That's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Anybody, any questions, comments? Okay, thank you, Doug. Any other old business not reasonably anticipated?
I have none.
Okay, town administrator's report and correspondence.
Sure, so the first thing is, not sure if this is, I think this is good news. I don't know how impactful it will be, but our special legislation request, our home rule petition request from town meeting to remove the fire department from civil service was given a legislative hearing on Halloween on Tuesday the 31st. We were only notified about it with very little notice. So Attorney Clifford was able to represent the town via Zoom. So he did give his comments. Again, I'm honestly not sure. You know, we've had a lot of discussions on this, but I think it was a good sign that it was at least given a hearing. That's a positive sign. Next, on a more negative note, I guess I'll say for lack of a better term, I unfortunately have to report that our town assessor, Rachel Carlisle, is going to be leaving. She submitted her letter of resignation. She is going to be going back to the town of Cohasset, going to be the director of assessing there. So it was a difficult but professional move for her. Sad to see her go. Obviously, we wish her the best. She's going to make sure to see us through all the important assessing things that need to happen, setting our tax rate, et cetera, before she leaves. And then right now, I believe the Board of Assessors and our HR department are in the process of reposting that position. So sad for us, good for Cohasset. Next, as it relates to ARPA, a couple things. I'm going to give you guys a handout. I guess I'll get to the... I'll do the handout now, I think. You take one and pass it down. So what I just handed out is the list of all of our current applications pending with Plymouth County. So this is like a screenshot from the Plymouth County portal. And you can see if you look down at the bottom, the Rockland wastewater treatment plant digester boiler, the first phase of that is the only one that's been fully funded and approved. I shouldn't say fully funded. They've approved our application. We still have a second part of that application we'll have to apply for later. All the others have been very slowly going through the review process, and you can see now we're at pending level 3 review. I think level 3 is like the last review, I think, after this point. And I think once we get to this point, we're generally pretty good, but I can't understate the level of detail that they are requiring. It is beyond any level of detail I've experienced with this type of application before, but they're being very thorough. Again, these, I'll just read for the public's benefit, $880,000 for wastewater treatment plant design improvements, $500,000 for sewer department inflow and infiltration remediation, $191,000 toward the generator replacement at the sewer department, $493,000 for PFAS filtration equipment at the water department, and $315,000 for the digester boiler replacement at the wastewater treatment plant. I feel very good about all of these applications. I think the board made the right decision by targeting essentially all of our Plymouth County funding toward water and sewer. Those funds are desperately needed, and they're putting them to good use. As part of this process, the county is randomly selecting towns to audit. We happen to be randomly selected, so they're auditing us. Everything's fine. Just letting you know there's a lot of detail we're having to provide to them. The only thing that's a little concerning to me is, and this was in the original paperwork, but I have to admit I didn't really notice it until I just happened to see it in a recent email. The federal rules for spending ARPA funds require or allow that we have until December 31st, 2026 to fully expend all the funds. But I just realized, and it was in the fine print all along, but I just realized that the Plymouth County is, instead of allowing till the end of calendar year 26, they're requiring all the funds be fully expended by the end of next June, June of 24. So with some things it'll be okay, but with some of the other projects, it's going to be a problem for us. You know, if the generator isn't delivered in time by that deadline and we can't even start the install, same thing with some of the water filtration projects. There's a process where we can apply for an extension. I'm told it may only be a 6-month extension, so I'm going to have to look at this a little bit more in depth, and I'll stay on top of it and make sure we get our needs met. But I just want you guys to be aware as soon as I realize that there is this earlier deadline, that the county is choosing in certain aspects of this program to be more strict than the federal government, and that's their decision. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know how we shake out on that. Next, just in general, I've been working with our new Assistant Administrator Courtney and our new Town Planner Allison, bringing them up to speed, and just given all the unusual things that have been happening, like the emergency shelter and a special town meeting and Union Point zoning. It's been a hectic time, so our transition's been a little bit slower, but we are working on that. Next, the Cannabis Control Commission marijuana dispensary regulations came out, and they really are the worst-case scenario. The final regulations, as I read them, and our attorneys read it the same way, it's just as we feared. At each dispensary's renewal at the Cannabis Control Commission, their annual renewal, at that point, the Cannabis Control Commission will have the ability to retroactively nullify our contract and deem it invalid, and we'll either have to come up with a new host community agreement that complies with their new rules, or we'll have to seek a waiver and not have a host community agreement at all. So I'll be working with Attorney Galvin and our new town planner, who has some expertise in this as well, to look at our next steps. The CCC is going to be coming out with a template of a model HCA document that they think will work. Everything I've read, I don't think it's going to be helpful to the town at all. I think it'll probably cost us more than we'll end up generating. But on the good side, on a good note, I have begun having some conversations with some of the individual dispensary owners about having our own side agreements outside of the state's Cannabis Control Commission regulation host community agreement structure, and just having our own voluntary kind of agreement, which I think that some of the dispensaries that will stand up for the fact that they voluntarily entered into these negotiations in good faith for a 5-year period, I think some of them may live up to that. So more to come. I'll keep you up to speed. This is all evolving rapidly. And then lastly, as far as our budget process goes, I just sent out capital request forms to all the department heads. They're due back to me on December 22nd, and it's November, so budget season is right around the corner. And that is all I have.
Thank you, Doug. Moving on, Selectmen's comments. Comments and opinions expressed by individual members do not necessarily reflect the views of the Board of Selectmen, and that the opinions and comments of only the individual member. Selectperson Childs?
Yeah, I was asked by Maureen Shorak to mention that her uncle Bill Burke has passed away, and he's a longtime Rockland resident, went to Rockland High School, owned Burke Pharmacy in Rockland, was a proud member of the U.S. Army for several years. And she asked if we could have a moment of silence for him, so I'd like to honor that.
So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Selectperson Elwood?
I got nothing tonight.
Thank you, John. Selectperson Shortall?
I just hope everybody takes the time to come out to town meeting.
Thank you, Donna. Vice Chairman Needham?
No comments tonight.
And I'm like John and Tiffany tonight, I have no comment. We have special town meeting to head to. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion, we have a second.
Second?
A motion and a second, all those in favor, Selectperson Childs,
Yes.
Selectperson Elwood,
Yes.
Selectperson Shortall,
Yes.
Vice Chair Needham,
Yes.
and myself. Thank you, everyone. Good night.